welcome to another episode of Conversations with Jeff, where our mission is to flip the switch on your stinking thinking and help you change the conversation you're having with yourself, about yourself, to yourself, and step into your purpose. I'm going to say that to you one more time. Change the conversation you're having with yourself, about yourself, to yourself. You all know what that is. That stinking thinking conversation that goes on. And you say, well, how do you do that? Well, we have the privilege of bringing guests in from all over the world, from all different backgrounds, who are willing to do one thing. And that's to come in here, baby, and take off the mask, talk about the strengths that they gain from the struggles and the comebacks in their lives, whether it be in relationships, business, right, health. Those are kind of the three pillars that we talk about: family, relationships, health, and business, and some of the other things. And then they give you, they give you the empowering edge, right, to take those solutions that they've discovered and implement it in their lives to change your life for free, right? Oh, man, because see, I believe that this process that we're talking about is the most underutilized, undervalued, underappreciated perspective. Why? Because it lives with us every day. We become used to it all the time. We don't even pay attention to a lot of it. So we want to wake you up and shake you a little bit today, each and every day, with this message. And I'm going to tell you something. Oh, man. You don't want to be the reason why you don't reach your destiny. You don't want to be the reason why you don't step into your purpose and find who you're supposed to be. Oh, I believe this is one of them steps that'll get you there, baby. Take off the mask and get for real. Anyway, so those of you that don't know me, my name is Jeff Tyson, and I'm known as the Comeback King. And I got that name from sharing strengths and stories of my life over the last 30 or something years. And today, I'm going to do something a little different with our show. And, guys, we've been promoting something that's been just released on Sunday. Oh, boy. Fellas, time's running out for the driven man who's done pretending he's fine. Listen, we can all chase success. We can all put the mask on and act like nothing's wrong and there's no problem or anything like that. But deep down inside, that's where the real truth lies. I don't remember if I just introduced myself or not, but for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jeff Tyson. And I'm known as the Comeback King and founder of Comeback King Enterprises. Part of our mission there is to bring masterminds and messages around healing, around growth, around really dancing with that stinking thinking, baby, on a regular basis, and the tools that you need to do to begin to shift your life. So anyway, we had this idea to release something over the weekend, and we didn't get there and didn't get out till Sunday, so we may revisit how long we keep it. But anyhow, right, I want to just talk about that for just a moment. And please make sure you share this information and subscribe and set your notification bell up for future shows, because we have some dynamite guests coming to close out the month of July. And last week's guest, man, Candace Bailey. If you didn't get that, go back and check it out. Just go back and check it out. Sit down. If you're married, sit down with your spouse. If you're in a relationship, sit down with your partner. If you're single, sit down with yourself or some friends and find out what it is to grow and to stretch. Oh, man. She laid out some powerful nuggets. Amazing. Just amazing show. So go check it out. Let me know what you think. All right. Anyway, so let me get back to why I'm here today. I'm going to let you get back to your lunch or whatever you're. Hey, Michael, Marshall, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. So anyway, I want to just kind of go through some notes. Guys, I love to have notes, keep me on track, right? So one of the things, the audience, I know that this is the right audience, high achieving, respected, right? Working on the grind, doing the things you need to do to have your life. Man, I was that guy. Over 30-something years ago, it made me think about it, man, when I'm putting this together, how I was living my dream, right? I had, the guy who had a 1.9 GPA coming out of high school now is, living out in the East Coast and working with a Fortune 500 company, looking at opportunities to advance. And, I was walking home from the parking garage, and get this phone call. When it's the call you never want to get. And when it was my sister, many of you heard this story, but it was my sister, right? And she says, "Hey, Jeff, you need to come home. Mom is in the hospital." And mind you, right, I'm that guy, man. I'm like, man, made of stone, nothing affects me, right? And so, I don't remember the rest of the conversation still to the day, but I know I got there, and as I was pulling up to the hospital, big old hospital, man, sitting back in the hills, and I'll never forget just the lights and all this stuff. And I get in the building, and I'm walking down the hallway, echoing the hallways in hospitals and smelling the ammonia, and I'm thinking, I'm just there. I'm just a shell. Don't know what to expect. And I go, and I get in the room, and I see my siblings along the wall, and they're laughing, and my pops was sitting down at the end of the bed, and then I look at my mom, and mom was and still is spiritually living with me, a powerful woman, a wife, a community leader, a sister, a mother. Oh man, mom's was it. She was sitting up in the bed, and tubes coming out of her, and I'm like, I gotta admit, I was a little numb, right? I had to get a little numb, a little medication so I could get through this stuff, right? And so I looked down at the edge of the bed, and here's the thing. I look down at the edge of the bed, I see my dad. And he's a man's man, brother. They've been married 44 years before she was sitting, before this happened to her. She was in this hospital. And he was at the edge of the bed painting her toenails. And I look up at my mom, and she looks at me, and I can see a tear in her eye. And she knew the relationship that they had, the love that they had, the commitment that they had, was something that I always wanted. But I was so far away from having that type of relationship at all. Because what happens, fellas, as you know this, right? We become isolated. We become frozen from our emotions. We become like, we get alligator arms. We can't reach. Right? You know how alligator stands up and the arms are about this long? How many of us have alligator arms we can't reach out anymore? And the gift of surrendering that, which I talk a lot about, and having some acceptance and beginning to replace the way I was living with other ways to live, man, I was able to stay non-medicated, put down all the craziness I was doing, and found a new way to live. And so, 18 months later, standing with my mom, scared to death. I've never seen anybody getting ready to take their last breath like she did. And 18 months before, up to that point, I began to work on myself. I had to begin to do some of these things. I had to start peeling off all the masks, man, and 30-something years later, still peeling them off every now and then. So I know who you are, and so was I. But I saw my mom take her last breath, and she knew her son was on a new path. Right? What would you like your outcome to be in your life? Those of you hiding behind work, those of you hiding behind medication, bad relationships, what would you like? Can you see what your life would be like? Free from that. Success without alignment. Success without alignment, baby. When everything's not lined up, it's chaos. Chaotic is crazy. Uncontrollable internally, emotionally, and all those things, right? So here's what I wrote down for myself. The world sees your highlight reel. I was running a highlight reel, right? I was on the show. The world sees your highlight reel, but only you know the weight behind the scenes. So what is that weight for you? And are you ready to do something different about it? What is that weight for you? Are you ready to do something different about it? So I'm going to talk about why this whole thing matters, right? I wrote down some things. Most men are silently stuck in this emotional chaos, this merry-go-round, round and round and round we go. We just get older, not better, right? Winning on the outside, then unraveling on the internal piece. I mean, sooner or later, the stuff starts to come out. If this is you, let me know. That's why I'm having this. Unraveling on the inside, but man, you're holding up strong because we're taught to be unemotional. Nothing phases us. And don't let us get around a bunch of men. Oh man, it's a whole nother kind of crazy. But I'm here to tell you, you don't have to be that way. Look, as in my life, the longer we ignore this stuff I'm talking about, the heavier it gets. Sooner or later, baby, something's got to give. That song, Something's Got to Give, that movie. Look, I'm not talking about therapy here. I'm talking about leadership, self-leadership, and helping you find your way. Oh, man. Woo. So let me just talk about what it is you're going to get in this workshop. Well, actually, it's not even a workshop. It's going to be a one-on-one. I figured out, hey, let me just take 10 people. That's all I can handle. Right? This first go around, 10 people, schedule it in, make it happen. You know, we begin to build a relationship one-on-one. And we talk for 60 minutes. I do more listening than I do talking with the goal and objective to open up the possibilities of what I'm talking about may fit you. Right? And then the possibility of change. Right? And we share some things. It's a conversation. We just sit down and do that, right? And this 60 minutes usually runs a little longer, I'll be honest with you. But the goal is to get some clarity out of the whole thing, right? I don't know where you are. I can assume where you are because I've been there. But everybody has a little different twist in their lives. But giving you a place where we can sit down like two caring people and have a conversation. No judgment. Vulnerability is encouraged, right? And just chat. But it's not going to be a feel-good talk. It'll be necessary to create a game plan. We got to get honest with each other in a way that you may have not done before. And honesty is key to freedom and change and finding a new way to live in this new direction, being honest about your situation, right? And then being willing to do something about it. My goal in this session is to give you some tools to realign your hustle, right? Grinding, realign your hustle, line you up with your purpose. Right? Who are you really meant to be in that role that you're living as a person, as a human being, to yourself first and then to others. Because if we don't fix what's going on with self first, nothing else is really going to matter because nothing will change until that changes. Ask me how I know, right? The corporate life that I was dreaming of and thought I had everything going, I had to walk away from that. And man, I had a severance package and I had some time on my hands. I didn't know what I was going to do. Right? But I knew I couldn't live the way I was living anymore. I couldn't take that. Sooner or later, you're going to have to ask yourself that same question. When's it going to stop? When's it going to stop? Anyway. It's about the small circle of men because that way I can spend time. We can get deeper into the real issues of what's going on and keep it private and not a wide-based situation. So it's a comfortable place to get honest and get comfortable. Right? And I'll let you tell me about your stinking thinking and how that, whatever it is that you're wearing, identify what those things are that you're wearing that keeps you stuck in this stinking thinking. And then take a look and see how it's working for you. It ain't, right? It's not working for you. Because that the lie will tell you, let's keep going. Let's keep going. You'll be all right. Next, what's going on? Nothing hurts me. Nothing phases me. Like a duck in the water, baby, smooth on the top, paddling underneath though. Paddling, paddling, paddling. Are you tired of paddling? You ready to get out of the water? Listen, we're going to be talking about truth, gaining some clarity, and finding some peace. Oh, man. Woo! When I found the peace, I never thought, well, I thought I had. I was like, oh, I'm fine. What do you mean? What are you talking about? I don't need to stop and change what I'm doing. Look at me. What you see on the outside isn't what's going on the inside 9 out of 10 times. But let's line that up. External with the internal. Oh, man, all on the same line. So, I would like to say this to you, as I get out of here and get away from you today. If you're tired of performing about peace and calm and like you got all your stuff together, I almost said something else, and ready to live it, something different. Let me say it again to you. If you're tired of performing, success and peace. If you're tired of performing, success and peace, then I encourage you. I put the link in the chat. Ladies, share this information with somebody that you know that fits what I'm talking about. It's a brother, your husband, boyfriend, fiance, whatever it might be. And have them take advantage of this opportunity. All the information's in the description. It's $4.97, and you get the 1-hour call, and then we do another follow-up call after you go away for a while and put some pieces back together, right? And then I give you a blueprint to kind of kick things off for 30 days. And if you want to do some more work with me, then we can work up that as well, right? It's a long-term process that we're after. And what I'll tell you is this: if you're willing to do the work, I'm willing to meet you where you are and beyond. Because I know I wasn't certain about doing the work over 30-something years ago because I didn't think I needed to. But when I left that hospital that night, I wanted to have some kind of feeling and not just be. Because I'm thinking, what's wrong with me? This is my mom. This is my hero. Talking about terminal cancer, 18 months to live. Mr. Stoic, on his way to the next thing. Is that you? It doesn't have to be. Click the link. Let's have the conversation. If you're ready to go right away, just click the link in the comment section. Now get your payment registered, save the spot. And let me tell you something, like I always say, don't let nothing stop you from reaching your destiny, particularly yourself and the stinking thinking that goes along with hiding behind the things you know you need to change. All right, click that link, read through that information. Appreciate everybody. Have a great, fantastic day. We'll see you on the next episode. Take care.